what's up, Taiwan? I'm Jaime Ocon with news from here in Taipei and around the world. Now, Taiwan's military has held drills on the east coast on a beach it believes may be a key landing spot in a Chinese invasion. It's the first drill in the area since the coast was designated a red beach. That means it could be vulnerable to a Chinese landing. The exercise uses a combination of weapons to get soldiers familiar with coastal defense strategies. The man who's led Taiwan's domestic submarine program for 2 decades says he doesn't want the job anymore. There are concerns his decision could leave the country's sub-program high and dry, but officials are putting a positive spin on his departure. John Van Trieste reports.
Admiral Huang Shuguang helped build Taiwan's first domestically made submarine, a 20-year project that overcame many technical hurdles. Now, he wants to step down as the program's head, citing personal reasons. President Tsai Ing-wen is still considering his request. His sister, lawmaker Huang Shanshan, though, says now is the right time.
刚好也是政党轮替嘛，我觉得这个是他工作上负责任的态度啦，本来就应该跟着这个工作完成阶段性任务。
But the job isn't over. Taiwan still has 7 more submarines of the same class planned. And there are concerns that without Huang's leadership, these could be in jeopardy, with speculation Huang's whole team could be disbanded. At the very least, there's an acknowledgement that going forward won't be easy.
现在的困难远比我们过去的6年还要艰巨，还要棘手，但是它还是承接着这些重担。
The presidential office says it will create a new office charged with carrying the plan forward. It says the remaining subs will be built in 3 batches. And officials say some technical improvement may even be made.
那也许后续的舰呢会陆续在成熟，那这样呢可以把这些新的这个技术呢用在这个未来新的潜舰上面。
But if Huang's resignation gets approved, it will still be the start of a new chapter in Taiwan's quest to build its own submarines. Ethan Chen and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
The country's next generation of Air Force pilots are being put through their paces. They're being taught how to survive a crash. I was in Kaohsiung to see the training. Behind me is Taiwan's Aircrew Survival Training Center in Gangsang Air Force Base in Kaohsiung. It's one of the only training centers of its kind, and the military uses it to train future pilots. Inside the center is this swimming pool, which is used to help teach pilots what to do if they ever eject or crash their aircraft. Some soldiers here are hooked up to cables, and others sit in a simulated helicopter cockpit. They then splash into the water and then follow a series of procedures to maximize their chances of getting rescued. The hardest part for many here is being submerged and then twisted 180 degrees.
黑暗的过程当中的逃生，人员的心理的压力跟素质，它是需要有一定的抗压性。那我们利用这个环境的特效呢，来做一个训练，其实可以有效的提升，帮助他们做这个训练的一个成果。
Now, Taiwan's military, specifically its Air Force, is constantly scrambling and warning off Chinese warplanes that fly near its borders. Taiwan hasn't seen any major military incidents since 2022 when an F-16 pilot died in a training accident. Now, the training they're receiving here hopefully trains the aircrew what to do if something goes wrong. Now, Taiwan's tourism authorities have announced an earthquake relief plan for Hualien worth over $90 million. Once finalized, the aid package will be used to help people displaced by the recent magnitude 7.2 earthquake and to revive tourism, which is vital to the local economy. The announcement comes as crews finish demolishing the partially collapsed building that became the defining image of the April 3rd quake. Legislators say the country is still producing too much plastic waste. That's despite efforts to cut down on single-use plastics. The Environment Ministry recently said the use of plastic bags and reusable utensils has dropped by around 50% over the past 20 years. But lawmakers say not enough is being done to achieve the government's plan for a total ban on single-use plastic straws, cups, cutlery, and shopping bags by 2030. The Environment Ministry said that this is still the goal, but current measures do not yet target night markets and wet markets, where most of these kinds of plastics are used. German and Israeli representatives have gathered alongside President Tsai Ing-wen at a Holocaust Remembrance event in Taipei. Our reporter Reese Ayers was at the ceremony to discover what the event means for ties between Israel and Taiwan.
The Taiwan Foundation for Democracy is hosting a Holocaust remembrance event in Taipei. President Tsai Ing-wen is here alongside representatives from Israel, but also from Germany. Of course, the event memorializing the some 6 million Jewish people that died under Nazi rule. But it's also the latest in a series of statements of solidarity between Taiwan and Israel and the wider Jewish community.
Thank you, Taiwan Foundation for Democracy, for continuing to lead and carry the obligation to promote awareness about the Holocaust here in Taiwan. Being here together sends a strong message about the importance and relevance of Holocaust remembrance to all peace-loving nations around the world.
Earlier this week, President Tsai herself welcomed an Israeli delegation just days after Iran attacked Israel with over 300 drones and missiles. During his visit, chairman of the Taiwan-Israel Friendship Group, Boaz Toporowski, also present at the Remembrance event, spoke to how both Israel and Taiwan are democracies facing a hostile geopolitical environment. He sent a message of cooperation, also echoed at today's event.
As we are confronted with the growing threats of terrorism and authoritarianism, it is even more important that we work together so we can leave the world a better place for future generations.
Despite not having an official diplomatic relationship, Taiwan and Israel have been pursuing closer ties in recent years, including through educational exchanges and increased trade. Both have also had to face up to trauma in the past, the Holocaust, and of course, Taiwan's own White Terror. Now, Taiwan is hoping that it can learn from the experiences of Israel and Germany about healing old wounds and bridging divides. Alex Chen and Resign in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
Now, all eyes will soon be on France when it hosts this year's Olympic Games in Paris. Taiwan's athletes are busy getting ready, but as Leslie Liao points out, the number of athletes to qualify so far for this year's Games is less than half the number the country sent to the last Olympics in Tokyo.
There are just 100 days left until the Summer Olympics in Paris later this year. Taiwan's Olympians gathered at the National Sports Training Center in southern Taiwan to mark the occasion.
我现在的技术跟我的身体素质，我觉得有明显的持续进步当中。那我非常期待这次2024巴黎奥运。
有3次奥运的经验，我希望这次自己能够把最好的发挥，当然最好希望能够把金牌带回来。
When Taiwan gets to Paris, it will be competing under the name Chinese Taipei. That's because of a deal it struck with the International Olympic Committee, and China objects to any attempts to compete under the name Taiwan. So far, about 24 athletes from Taiwan have qualified to compete in about 10 sports at the upcoming Games. That falls short of the last Summer Olympics in Tokyo 3 years ago. During those games, Taiwan saw 68 athletes compete across 18 sports, bringing home 2 gold, 4 silver, and 6 bronze, the country's best performance yet. With less than 4 months left until Paris 2024, there aren't many opportunities left for Taiwanese athletes to qualify for the Games, though they are still there. But even if Taiwan doesn't send as many athletes to Paris as it did Tokyo, there's still a chance that those that are going now can still come up big and make one more record-breaking performance. Joseph Wu and Leslie Liao in Kaohsiung for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Now, before we go, check out these newly discovered Greek artworks unearthed in the ancient city of Pompeii. I'm Jaime Ocon. Take care, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you for watching Taiwan Plus. Be sure to follow us on social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world.